Good evening and welcome to our show, Going Public. I'm Renee Fonseca, and joining us tonight are Riley Richard, the fifth grade Terrebonne Parish Student of the Year. We also have with us Kate Henning, the eighth grade Terrebonne Parish Middle School Student of the Year, and Justin Dufran, the Terrebonne Parish High School Student of the Year. Students in Terrebonne Parish are selected by their school based on their leadership, academic performance, achievement, citizenship, and service to the school and community. And then they are submitted to the Terrebonne Parish School District. These nominees are then forwarded to a regional selection committee. I want to personally congratulate all of you for being chosen as a Student of the Year. Very amazing, very wonderful honor. First off, I have Miss Riley Richard, who is a fifth grader from Lisa Park. Riley, I have a few questions for you. What does it mean to be selected as the fifth grade Student of the Year for Terrebonne Parish?
It is a big honor to me that I was chosen to be the fifth grader of the year for Terrebonne Parish. I know that there was many other deserving fifth graders, but I'm excited that I was the one that was able to represent them all.
And what types of school activities are you involved in, and what roles do you have in these activities?
I am in band, beta, and 4-H. This is my first year in band and beta, and my second year in 4-H, where I'm the president.
Cool, so that's pretty neat. You have some leadership roles. And what have you learned from participating in these activities?
In band, I have learned how to read music and how to actually play music as a group with all the different instruments. In beta, I've learned how to be a team player and how to help when needed and how to sew.
So it sounds like you're learning a good bit from those activities. Do you enjoy doing them?
Yes.
And what are some things that you enjoy doing outside of school?
I enjoy doing a competitive cheer team called Ice All Stars Sleep, and being in dancing called JMAX School of Dance.
And how do you manage to maintain your grades and be involved in all of your activities inside and outside of school?
By studying when I have a test, and if I have homework due, I'll do it right after school, and I pay attention in class really well.
And you were involved in activities inside and outside of school. But do you have an idea of what you want to be when you get out of high school?
When I get out of high school, I want to be a teacher for kids with disabilities. I want them to know, for my future students to know that even though they have disabilities, that they're still very important to me, and that I will always be there for them.
That's a very amazing job that you want to do. And have you always wanted to do that since you were little?
No.
No, is this something that you just thought about doing? And who have been your role models?
My parents, teachers, my grandma and grandpas, my friends.
And have you had a favorite teacher so far in your 5 years of school?
Yes.
And who has that favorite teacher been?
Her name is Miss Sherry Liday.
And what makes her so special to you?
She actually was the one that taught me how to sew, and she makes learning fun and easier, and is a very nice lady.
Aw. Well, that's awesome of you to think of Miss Sherry. Can you tell me a little bit about the Student of the Year process? What did you have to do?
To start off with, our school committee sent out a packet and letter to kids who they'll think would be good to be fifth grade of the year for our school. So we had to fill out a packet and turn it into them. And a few days later, they interviewed us. And then I was alerted that I was chosen. So then I had to make a portfolio for the for the state.
Mhm.
And then we turned it in, and then they also informed me that I got it. So now I'm here, and in a few days I'm going to be doing a virtual meeting with them.
Ooh, are you excited to interview with the state?
Hmm.
And do you know what you have to talk to them about, or do you have any idea, or is it something that they're going to ask you on the spot?
I believe they're asking me on the spot.
Ooh, so are you a little nervous about it?
Yes.
I'm sure you're going to do great. I want to thank you for joining us tonight as well. Also with us, we have Miss Kate Henning, who is an 8th grade student from Houma Junior High. Kate, I do have a few questions for you. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself before we begin?
Hi, my name is Kate Henning. I attend Houma Junior High School as an 8th grader. I have 3 siblings, 2 sisters and 1 brother, and then both of my parents are physical therapists.
And how are you involved in your school setting?
At school, I'd say I'm pretty involved. I'm currently elected president of student council. I'm on the soccer team, I'm a tour guide, and then I'm also cheer captain.
So it sounds like you stay pretty busy as well. How do you manage to maintain your grades and participate in all of those activities?
It's honestly just finding a good balance, knowing when you have to get it together and pay attention in class and study, and that's what's going to keep it all together.
And even though you're only in junior high, do you know what you want to be when you graduate?
I'm lucky to still have 4 years to think about it because I don't know the exact job I want to do for the rest of my life, but I am interested in certain careers, but one thing is I don't want to be doing the same thing every day. So
You
a
don't
job.
want to be any type of medical field? Are you thinking teaching or?
I could go into any business field, like a manager or a boss. I could also do teaching if it came down to it.
And as a junior high student, what are some of the issues you feel that students have to deal with?
I think junior high is a very important part in your life. You're learning independence and stepping away from your parents a little bit. But one thing that's different with teenagers now is we have phones and social media, and we are learning and growing and maturing faster than we have before.
And what are your thoughts? You brought up social media. So what are your thoughts on social media or the rise of technology?
I think technology is a huge part of society and life. A lot of my lessons, tests, everything is on social media, well, on the computers and stuff. And then social media is also has very many upsides and downsides. It's what keep people connected and communicating, but it's also a major conflict, so I think it's everybody's personal preference on whether or not they like it.
And you mentioned having to take tests on computers these days. Is that something that you have done ever since you were in elementary school, or has that changed since you've been in school?
I think I've done computer tests ever since 5th grade, I'm pretty sure. That is when most of our tests were all online.
And what are your thoughts on that part of it? Do you enjoy testing on computers, or do you prefer the old-fashioned paper and pen?
I prefer reading tests, especially online, because writings are easier to type, but I prefer writing for math tests because they're easier to work out.
So you do have your preferences for both. Moving on, do you have any role models?
I would say that I look up to many people. I look up to my parents, my siblings, but one sibling in particular that I look up to is my older brother, Reed. He was last year's Terrebonne Student of the Year, and he also is probably one of the most fun people I know. He is always having a good time, but is still maintaining the other aspects of his life.
As far as your past educators, or even your current ones, do you have one that has inspired you or been a favorite?
Yes.
And who is that?
It was my GT elementary teacher. I had her for almost all of elementary school. Her name was Miss Eshte, And she basically just watched me grow up, and her class was always the most fun. And she's a big reason of how I am the person I am today.
And I know you mentioned her class was fun. What makes, in your opinion, a good teacher?
A good teacher is able to engage a student and want them to learn while also helping them learn. Like, a good teacher should help the students have the students' best interest while also making sure it is the student's choice and engaging them and making sure they're having fun.
And then you talking about going back to that engagement. Your classes now, how are they? Do you have tons of engaging activities, or are your activities more old style, or are they more project-based learning kind of style?
I think my favorite times is when we do group projects. We probably do them like once a month, but it is fun to get to work with more people and in a group aspect. So I think that would be.
Well, thank you. Kate, you were going into some of the things that you currently are in school, and how you like to be engaged and educated. What are some of your personal achievements that you are most proud of?
I think my personal achievement academically would have to be Student of the Year. It's provided so many opportunities, but my main personal achievement would probably have to be all of the friends I've made over the years. I'm very fortunate to have them, and they've all taught me something, so that would be it.
And what are you most looking forward to about going to high school?
I guess I'm most looking forward to just 4 years of having fun, but also getting ready to go to college. High school has many more things than middle school. I'm ready for football games and all of the things like that, so I'm excited for all of that.
And I know you just mentioned college. I know you have no clue exactly what you want to do yet, but do you have an idea of a college that you would like to attend?
There's many colleges that I've thought about, like NYU or University of Miami, but I think I'll probably end up just going to like Nichols or LA Tech.
So you may stay closer to home.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you, Miss Kate. Also joining us tonight is Mr. Justin Dufresne, who is a 12th grader at Terrebonne High School. Justin, how does it feel to be selected as the 12th grade Student of the Year?
It feels amazing. I'll be honest. It's such an amazing honor. The day they awarded me, gave me the award at school. They called me out of class, and I walked into the front office, and Superintendent Martin standing there saying I'm the 2022 Terrebonne Parish School District's 12th grade Student of the Year, and I was speechless. I was so grateful and so delighted that I was the one chosen for the award.
And I'm sure that you also participate in extracurricular activities.
Yes, ma'am.
What are some of the activities and clubs that you are involved in at Terrebonne, and even some of your past ones?
I'm involved in the band, both the marching band and the concert band. I am on the golf team. I am in National Honor Society. I am in the Beta Club. I'm in Student Council.
And in those activities, do you currently hold any leadership positions?
Yes, I'm the president of the National Honor Society. I'm the class vice president. I am the recording secretary and the student council, and I have been the drum major for the past 3 years, and I've also been first chair, clarinet, and the concert band for the past 4 years.
So it sounds like you also stay pretty busy.
Yes.
What made you want to become a leader in all of those activities?
Well, being a leader allows me to help others succeed in their goals, and that feeling, that being able to help somebody else is just the best feeling in the world. And not only helping them succeed, but helping them feel confident in their own abilities. And I actually heard a quote. It was, good leaders have their students look up to them. Great leaders have their students look up to themselves. And to help people look up to their own ability and what they can do is it's the greatest feeling on my part, and a great thing to do.
And besides being in all of the activities in school, what do you do outside of school?
Well, I play golf a lot, and I have to practice a lot. But besides that, Um, I like to go. I like to fish a lot too, and sometimes I'll play cards with friends. But also just in the community, I love to volunteer and give my time as much as I can. I go to the St. Bernadette Church, and I go there every Sunday to try to advance my faith, and I try to volunteer over there and in the community as much as I can, just to help someone else.
And since you are a senior, do you have any clue what you would like to do after you graduate from Terrebonne?
I think so. I've looked at many colleges. I've applied to many colleges, and I think I've settled on going to Louisiana Tech University, major in chemical engineering, and maybe try to walk on the golf team there.
So what made you decide to want to become a chemical engineer?
Well, my entire life I've excelled in math and science, and I've always known that whatever I go in, it's going to be relating to those subjects, because I've loved those subjects and I've excelled in those subjects. But I've been a bit of a perfectionist, I'd say, and just being so precise in everything I do, that is a big part of what engineers do. And being able to do that, and that's also one of the reasons that I love golf. Being able to overcome a situation and the problem-solving aspect of it is just so fascinating to me.
And have you had people that have influenced you along the way? And if so, who are those people and why?
Absolutely. I'd say my parents, most of all. No matter what I've done, everything that I've done, they've supported me, 100%. And they've taught me so many lessons along the way, and I definitely would not be in the place that I am if it wasn't for their help. And I don't know what to say.
So besides your parents, that have been such good role models to you, do you have any educators who have inspired you along the way? Or any, you've been in school for a long time now. Do you have any that have, had a place in your heart?
Well, I'd say all my teachers for sure have helped me throughout along the way, but I'd say probably my math teacher, Ms. Erin Boudreau. I actually had her as a math teacher for 3 years, out of the 4 in high school. And, she's always been there for me, and she's always been such a great teacher and such a great person just to go talk to and get advice from, and she's really helped me along the way.
And then you are a student at Terrebonne High School, and your day has been affected by Hurricane Ida, obviously. You platoon. How has that changed your aspect on your high school years?
Well, it's really just, I don't get as much time in the classroom, and having the full school day is from 7 in the morning to 12 noon. And I'm very lucky that we have the morning block, because I do not know, I feel so bad for the people in the afternoon having to get home so late when they get out of school at 5:30, and I get just having classes so short. The classes are only 36 minutes, and having classes so short, like learning calculus and only having a 36-minute class, it's very hard. It's very challenging, but it's the right thing, though, I would say, because Ellender and South Terrebonne are still being able to have their education, and knowing that is, I think, the best thing right now for
And it
us.
sounds like you are managing to overcome the obstacles of the shortened day, and you're still respectful of your other students, and that's something to be proud of. You have also had to go through COVID as well the last few years. School was shut down, and then quarantines. We started school late. Those types of things. How have those affected you?
For me, most of all, I would definitely say online learning. I'm more of a hands-on person. I'm more of a person that needs to be in the classroom. And so the online learning, it really it wasn't as effective for me. And I know I wasn't the only one like that. And just sitting there kind of on a computer screen, it definitely isn't the same as being in the classroom. And that's the major way that it's affected me.
And if you had to give any advice to any upcoming high schooler, what advice would you give to them?
I'd absolutely say get involved. There's so many things to get involved in, and there's so many people to meet. Because, I mean, you only have a certain amount of classes, and there's only a certain amount of people in those classes. And especially at, at Terrebonne, I'm sure at all the other high schools, there's so many people. And so just to be able to meet so many other people, I'm in band. I've met so many people that I would never have met if I wasn't in band. And I've made so many great friends that I would have never met if I wasn't in band. And just getting involved, not only in band, but like any other club, just it changes high school.
So get involved. Kate, if you had to give advice to any incoming middle school student, what advice would you give to them?
Anybody who is coming to middle school, one thing I would say to them is that middle school is not going to be the major point in your life. You don't have to peak in middle school. Nobody's going to care about what you did or a bad grade you made. Just try and have the most fun you can. Still keep up your grades, but nothing you do in middle school is going to affect the rest of your life.
And Miss Riley, do you have any advice to any elementary school students or anybody that might be little that are in pre-K, maybe going into elementary school? What advice would you give to them?
Just be yourself. Don't change how you are. If you like the color pink and you don't want people to judge you, don't let them judge you. Say that you're proud that you like the color pink. Like, you can like and do whatever you want.
That is some very good advice. You all had some wonderful advice. I want to thank you for joining us tonight. It was definitely a pleasure having you on the show. Good luck on the next part of your Student of the Year process. And I would like to thank you, our viewers, for watching. Don't forget to join us every Tuesday on Going Public. Good night.